Well, hey, all right now. Come on in, sir. Bring 'em on down. Welcome by. Come on, all right now. Let's bring 'em on down. What are we going to get for 'em now? Well, give me 25. Give me 525, 525, 25, 525. Give me $30 bid. $30 bid. Give me $30, $35, $30, $30, $35, $50 bid. Morning, folks. How you doing today? This is your host, Brody. Going to be joining you for MTG Stocks here up to the hour. The friends, the best friends of Magic the Gathering, who love the game as much as we do. Michael Superbacker in the house today. No days off, no way, no how. The love doesn't stop, even on holidays. We are here to bring you folks another show, and we're gonna do it. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Thanks a ton. A boat, a buggy, and an airplane for you, my man. All the hugs. Michael Superbagger for joining us today this morning. Awesome. 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 Gonna have a little sip of coffee before we get rolling here this morning. Morning Magic Stocks with Brody. Ah. All right. Let's see what we got going on here this morning in the world of Hasbro stock. Hasbro stock. Hasbro stock. Give me a sec. Just getting rolling this morning. It's a beauty. It's a beauty day. Hey, let's get out from behind the microphone this morning. Brody's got a good show for you folks today. Who else we got? Richie Dubs. Morning, boys. Morning, guys. In the woods hunting white-tailed deer. Better keep it down out there. Yeah, Brody's not going to help. Brody's not going to be much help. Uh, Brody's not going to be much help to you, Richie. But I wish you all the best. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day, gobble gobble, and all that stuff. Brothers War kits, pre-release kits, two-headed draft. Yeah, that's what we're gonna use that for. Saw another really good video last night over at the or at the excuse me, it's early, over at the Table Games. Left a link for you here. Hasbro stock. That's what we're looking for. Yes. Okay, all right now, folks. How much you're gonna give me for this Hasbro stock? You got $59. Give me $45. Dropping down to $40. $40. 45. Give me 45 on a Hasbro stock. Can I get $25 on a Hasbro stock? How low we're gonna go today, boys? Let them walk right on, down and out, down and to the left, down and to the left. We're gonna go down and to the left, down and to the left. We're just gonna find a smooth and comfortable spot to watch the Hasbro stock. It down a little bit today. Hmm. That's on the 1 year. What are we on the 1 year here? I want to pop in and say, hey, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'll be back on Monday. Thank you so much, Richie Dubs. I really appreciate the chat. All the best to you and yours, everybody in and around your vicinity. A happy Turkey Day, happy gobble gobble. Lot to be thankful for. My, how much do we have to be thankful for? What am I thankful for? What is Brody thankful for this holiday season? I am thankful for farmers. I'm really thankful for people, and I love the farmers market where I live. I know I really do. We go there on weekends. I am super thankful for the people who put in the time all year to grow those fruits and vegetables that we love so much. We really do appreciate those people. Very thankful. I don't work in farming, so I'm very thankful for the people who do. What are you thankful for? Good question for this morning. Uh, I'm thankful for you, Richie, for turning in on the channel and a whole lot of things. But it doesn't matter what I want or Not so much. I want to hear from you folks. What are you thankful for? Let us know and then head out with your day. I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's take a look at this Hasbro stock today. We're down $59, down to 59.15. It's under $60. Can you see? Can you see where we're heading? It's down and to the right. Down and to the right. Just trending down and to the right. We're gonna watch this stock just it's gonna relax a little bit over the next couple of months. I'm interested to see anybody interested to see uh how this how this stock reacts over the holidays. Like, are people rushing out to buy magic products for stocking stuffers? You know, the thing with magic products is, like, I have been in an LGS when a fella comes in and he's got like stars in his eyes, an older fella, like my age, a dad type guy, and he's like, I need to get some cards for my son. Magic cards. Which ones should I get? And he's just like looking at the wall of booster packs. And the guy's like, this is new. You get this is one of these, one of these, one of these. Fellow looks over at me and says, how am I doing? I said, you're doing great. He's gonna love that. So there's like a you know stocking stuffer type of element to booster packs and magic cards over the holidays. People like to gift them, and some people aren't in tune with what's going on in the inner workings of the game of cards value so I can get my buy you cheaper. That's right, Richie. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for tuning in. I'm loving the show. I'm loving the show. I'm really having a lot of fun time with you folks. But if you wanna check these prices, if you don't have time to check them, you can always stop in here on the channel. Let me do it for you. Little morning magic stocks with Brody. I'll be here just up until a little bit past the hour this morning. Really, really got the ear to the ground this morning. Let's take a look and see any news over here? Any news at the any news over with these folks? No news. Nothing. But you know what? Today's Thursday, which means tomorrow's Friday, which means there's going to be a new list out here tomorrow. So I'm pretty stoked. Make sure, and that's the show for today. Have a nice one. No, we'll have. Well, I should have a new article out tomorrow. You have a little sip of coffee. Oh, that's good coffee this morning. It really is. All right. Michael Superbacker, this is the part I am thankful for all my YouTube friends I've met. So many amazing people. Right, Michael? You're so right. Like, I can't believe you're here, Like, people that I would have not met otherwise. I know what you mean, Michael. Like, for sure. That is awesome. People that you run into, and then, like, if you do bump into them in person after, it's pretty great too. This community is great. Best community, You're not even kidding. You are so 100%. 100%. Thank you for that amazing comment here this morning. Michael Superbacker, Richie Dubs. We're going to run down the movers and shakers list for you today. Yesterday we did the all list, and normally we tackle that legacy list because that's what we like to take a look at. And there's generally some tech that goes along with the show. And that's where I need you folks so we can get into the show just a little bit. We just read the charts. We're going to read the prices. What are we going to do? We're going to talk about cards and cardboard and particular play patterns. So we got choices here. Let's see which side of the list looks more interesting. The all side or the legacy side? Oh yeah. Okay. So Brody's going. Okay, we did the all side yesterday. I really want to do the legacy side, unless you say don't do it. Okay, we're doing the legacy side. Let's do it. Okay. Starting out first at the top of the list, we got Tabernacles Pendervale, $7,500. It's on the reserve list. It's a whole mid of money and it's up 59%. And listen to me, honey, why are we up so much? Why are you up so much? Why are you up so early this morning? Tabby, Tabernacle, all creatures. Okay, the land from Legends, the chased rare, the land, the amazing land that says all creatures have at the beginning of your upkeep destroy this creature unless you pay one. You got to pay that one. Why is this card so good? I like this, and I mean, it's just one. It's just pay one. Okay, immediately out the gate, we're gonna give you the Pendril Missile Hakat. Okay, so if you're looking for the same effect in another reserve list card, you can get this card, the Pendril Miss. Each creature gains during your upkeep pay one or bury this creature. So cheaper version, 15 bucks, the enchantment card for blue and 3. We always got to try and come up with those cost-effective alternatives for the game effects. But for all of those who talk MTG stocks, we want to talk about the joy and the real McCoy of this bad boy, the Tabernacle of Pendril Vale, legendary land. Why is this so good? Well, it doesn't have a casting cost for one. It's played in lands for two, and because it's played in lands, you can interact with it, you can recur it, and you're not casting anything. It's really good on the draw. If your opponent is playing like some drop puke a bunch of creatures onto the bat like affinity, they're like ornithopter, thingithopter, artifactor, thinger factor, a zero mana memmonite, have a good night, and then you're like tabernacle, pay for your stuff. It slows them down a little bit, it does, but like the card that puts like release the ants that storms off and puts a million billion cajillion tokens onto the battlefield, or anything that like a pyromancer deck that just like peppity pippity peppity paps gives you like all those one ones. This thing will make your opponent like have to pay for those and like play fair magic. This card, what is the most this has ever been selling for? Like, I think we're like looking at new all-time highs for this card, like a big poke here, up just poking up in the top right corner of the charts. Yo. All right, no, it's seen a leg up here, and I don't know why. Could it be that it's been on Blue Tinker? Did a new deck come out that like has to play it? Lands plays it, Blue Tinker plays it, Prison Shops, Paradoxical. Maybe a really good condition one sold. All right, here we go. eBay buy it now. There it is there. This is the one that's pushing it up. So like we talked about yesterday, like we talked about a little bit yesterday, thanks for the comment, Richie Dubs. This software or this algorithm or this website that we're using, it takes like a medium average, right? So if you've got like a bunch of people selling it for $1, it's going to drag the price down. But then all of a sudden you got like somebody selling a $20,000, going to get a 19.5 with a 50 on this card here. Tabby at the Pendrell, give me $20,000 for it now. Real good, real hard, real bad. Is anybody gonna? That brings the price up. This one here. Where's this from? Anaheim, California, United States. This one, maybe it's packed fresh. Look at how minty, mintaroo this card is. If that's an actual picture of the card, the card offers an excellent condition up for near mint or better. This vintage card is ready to be played. We use Beckett Card Grading Service for all our card grading and card grading needs. The prices are based on the medium of the just a bunch of gobbledygook. It doesn't actually say where they got the card. Let's see. Love it. Alrighty. So yeah, that's gonna push the price up. One of these. Oh, what else they got? Is this guy just out of four R cards? 4R cards. What do they got here? Featured. Got Underground Sea, got Sarah Angel, Shivan Dragon on the eBay block featured here. Hammerheim, there's another good card. We're getting distracted. Pearl Medallion, look at all the shiny cards. All right, and this card, the Presence of the Mosta. So you've got a bunch of stuff listed. I don't know if that's a shot in the dark or a shot over the bow, but the Legend's rare for 20 grand. It's really pushing the price up. If someone buys it, then it's going to move, right? If somebody buys it for 20 grand, that's probably going to move the price. So if a new listing comes up that's really high, that's probably going to push the price up. Of course, the more that come onto the market, the lower the price goes. Let's take a look at a deck that's playing it. Sultai mid-range, a deck that I never look at. I really don't. I don't look at this deck. Why would I? I don't play. Leave me a comment in the comment section below for all you folks tuning in on the channel this morning. The fans of Magic the Gathering, the amazing fans, all of you folks checking out MTG stocks this morning. You love to check the prices. You really do. You can't help yourself. You get up in the morning and you're like, hey, like, I got to know what these things are selling for. There's a lot of them and something's moving and what's happening. I really do need to know. I do. Let's check this deck list. Looks a little interesting here. Sultai mid-range deck list. It's playing the Tabernacle. Deathrite Shaman. Yes, of course. Does anybody remember this card for a hot minute? Oh my goodness. This card's like a Planeswalker for 1 mana. Like it was touted as the 1 mana Planeswalker. It's a 1/2, and it does all kinds of stuff for good reason. This card was banned. Is this in Legacy? Is it Vintage? Right? Yeah. So it's banned in Legacy. Right? It's so good. Like if you're new to Magic, check out this card, and if you want to this is gonna blow your mind. If you're new to Magic, you're gonna check out this card, and you're gonna go, it doesn't seem that good. It's like just a 1/2. Why is it banned in so many formats? Because of all the text on it and all the things that it can do for 1 mana. You could tap it and exile a land and add a mana of any color, so it essentially lets you play blue cards in a deck that isn't running blue. You can play a black and tap it, exile an instant or sorcery from a graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life, like each opponent, so it can drain 6. And then a green and tap it, exile target creature card from the graveyard, you gain 2 life. So he can keep you from dying. It's a really powerful card. It saw a lot of play in Legacy, but now we're seeing it here in this Sultai mid-range. Couple copies of the Tabernacle in the sideboard. This one runs 2, and I don't know why you would. I mean, I don't know how many people got too many spare copies of the Tabernacle kicking around, but this guy's got 2 copies in the side for the creature matchup. A couple Graph Digger's Taste. That's where I usually go. Is like, how'd this deck do? 6th place, 5-1. So check the sideboard, right? So that just tells you how good Tabernacle is in the format right now. Tabernacle will vary in price depending on the format and how good it is. Like once creature-based decks stop being as popular in the meta, then the Tabernacle goes down. But when the creatures that win the game are popular, Tabernacle it goes up in price. Let's keep running down the list. Top off the list, the Badlands, the baddest of the lands. All right, gonna have a little sip of coffee. Thanks for joining me, folks, here today. It's Thursday, Thanksgiving. Brody's putting the show on, even though it's a holiday. We got to keep going. The show must go on. I'm pretty lucky here in Canada. We had our Thanksgiving couple of weeks ago, and I get to celebrate it twice. Once here with you folks, and once here north of the wall. Badlands, who's playing it, and why is it making the top? Or is it just because all the lands are moving up? Reanimator. Ooh, Mardu Reanimator. This was one of the cheaper dual lands, and it's worth mentioning you can't cast Days off of Badlands. For all you non-blue players, you can't cast Days off of Badlands, but it's still a pretty sweet dual land. Let's check out this Mardu Reanimator deck that's running it. It went 4-3 in a Legacy Open. Okay, it's not like winningest deck. When was that? 4-3 in a Legacy Open, November 12th. What are they reanimating? Grief, the Chancellor of Annex. Oh my goodness, this 5/6. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. When you do, Each opponent casts his or first spell of the game. Counter that spell unless they pay 1. Flying 5/6. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, counter it unless that player pays 1. So this card's really kind of good. Oh, and the Archon of Cruelty. The Archon of Cruelty. This one's also a really powerful card. A 6/6. Good reanimate target. It's 8 mana, so why not? Why wouldn't you bring this thing back? Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker, discards a card and loses 3 life. You draw a card and gain 3 life. The list of things you can do when reanimating this thing goes on, and that's why we need this Badlands to do it. So popular new reanimator build, and of course Grizzy B. Look at the new art on Griselbrand. Moving right along. It's just I've seen the Griselbrand reanimated so many times. It just like it's almost boring, right? But some people really like that line of play. I mean, there is no better reanimator target, let's face it. So if you're going to be reanimating a Griselbrand, I mean, the Archon of Cruelty is not too bad, but the Griselbrand's just so darn good. So the Badlands is a natural fit. It's 500 and something, 500 and something dollars, 500 and yeah, $548 for the Badlands. It's what you need to cast a Griselbrand in Black Red Reanimator. Hence the hiccup in price, 11% up. People must be getting set to play this weekend. Eternal Weekend is coming up. This card here, I am super stoked to take a look at. And the reason is because there's a few different versions of the art on this one. Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of versions on the art on this card. This card has its own name, its own cliche catchphrase to go with it. The bird, bolt the bird, as they say. As they like to say, bolt that bird. Don't let it sit around. Don't let it make too much mana because you're going to regret it. Bolting the bird, always worth it. This one is an unlimited version. It's up in price a little bit today, taking a little bump up, $282. Let's take a look here. Have a little sip of coffee and take a look at the birds of paradise. So, why do I like this card? I like this card because you can play it in Modern Commander. You can play it in, I guess, if you're playing playing Brawl or any of those newer formats. You can play it. What do I find interesting about this card is like the earlier couple of versions of it. If you look on the text box down at the bottom of the card, you can see how they before the tab sign, it actually says tap, TAP is written right there on the card. So this is an interesting card. Also, because if you look at some of the earlier versions of the card, it even says something else. Let's do that for you folks here today. Let's look at an earlier printing, like a beta printing. Okay, this one says tap. Where's the alpha printing? This one also says tap. Ah, yes. See this one, how it says flying and then it's got the 2 forward slashes like what you'd see on your keyboard. This looks like where somebody actually like typed out the text box for the Birds of Paradise. That's why I find this card is really neat because it pays homage to like the early design of a Magic card and how great of a job Wizards actually did putting the visual together on these cards because even to this day like you can see those little nuances, I guess if you want to call them that, these little things that make the Magic card special like prior to the tap symbol. But I really find that interesting. On the alpha version, it's $4,599. It's a lot. Does the unlimited version, I don't think it has those 2 little slashes. No. So the beta version has the 2 little the two little forward slashes that you see, or the beta version doesn't have those two little forward slashes that you see in the text box. Kind of interesting to know. Just making myself an extra cup of coffee here this morning. Birds of Paradise. Let's take a look. So if you're looking at a copy and you're wondering if it's an alpha or if it's a beta, that's one way to check. The alpha is going to have the two forward slashes in the text box. The beta doesn't, and it says tap. The unlimited version even says tap on it, because got to remember, folks, that's pre-tap symbol. And it says tap on it. And the revised version, of course, that's when we got the tap symbol. Does anybody remember when we got the tap symbol? We're like, oh, so cool. There's like this logo that, like this little emblem that replaces that. We got the tap symbol. I love it. Here, this is what we got. This is like what we got when they came out with the tap symbol. The T in the circle turned on 45. Maybe that's why people tap their lands on a 45-degree angle. Some people still do to this day. I guess we know who to thank for that, right? If they had to turn the T completely sideways, I think we just solved that right here today, like for myself anyway. If somebody's not tapping their lands fully, that's why, because the tap symbol only shows it at a 45. If it had been 90, we'd have been okay, right? That's awesome. Uh, so the Birds of Paradise, it's got so many different kinds of art on it. There's this secret layer version, there's promo version. There's the other version that I like of the art is this one. The 7th edition art. That's, I think, when we got some new art for the birds, right? And if you're new to Magic, another thing sort of worth mentioning while we're on this card. See, this one has the tap symbol at a 90 degrees, right? It really does. So that's interesting, worth noting. One other thing before we head on to the next card. If you're new to Magic, take a look at the art on this card. I think there's a conversation about the art on this card actually belonging to a different card, but they changed it because somebody in the art department didn't feel like that was the accurate representation of the card. I think that was originally the art for Volcanic Island or something like that. And if you know, leave me a chat in the chat. So like this card here, Volcanic Island, has an island exploding on it, and like this card here does as well. So like which card is was destined to be Volcanic Island, who really knows? But there's conversation about one or the other having been switched because it was a better representation of a volcanic island, or maybe we thought this one, was more showing the birds of paradise than the volcanic island. But it is an interesting fun fact about the art in the game. So let's check out what else we got on the list. We got the five. Who's playing this? Who's playing it? Yawgmoth, Joda, the Unifier, Corvol, the Curse Fae. Of course, Corvol's playing it. Atraxa. Oh, the Atraxa card. Muldrotha. All the commanders at Muldrotha. Let's take a look at this card, right? Like, who wouldn't want to play this in a green commander build? Yeah, Muldrotha, the Gravetide, and type from your graveyard. One of each. One of each. One of each. Just replay that Birds of Paradise. Make your mana. Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, there's ultimatums in the deck. Search for up to 3 monocolored cards with different names. Exile them. Opponent chooses one. Shuffle that card into your library. You may cast the other cards without paying their mana cost. Okay. Reverse Ultimatum. Loving it. Oh, man. And that's super awesome too, because I get to see this card. One of my favorites. One of my favorites. And anybody who tunes in on the channel, or what I'm buying or otherwise, knows that Brody loves the art on this card. a big favorite of mine that is just such a neat, iconic card, and it kind of pairs with another card by Douglas Schuler in the art. But I just get excited about it because I think this card is really special, and it does untap your lands, and the flavor text on it, Tano's learned quickly from Urza that utter simplicity often led to wondrous yet subtle utility. An interesting card. I like this card. It's $1,150, and I think it's underappreciated. Like, in the sense that not a lot of people play the candlestick. If you're nimble and you're quick and your name is Jack, you might want to play this card. But other than that, nobody really gives it too much love. In decks, it's played in post. Like 12 post was a deck. Like 12 post was the post deck. Where this found a home. So maybe if we get another post or another locust land, we're gonna see a kick up in price on this, but that's okay. We still really like the candelabra of Tanos. Let's check out the price. It's on the movers and the shakers list today for you folks. It's here. And you want to hit this card, hit the slopes. Like, that's a card that you want to. It's trending down, and it's $1,000. How high was it before? There's no way when Kaldheim was this thing. Yeah, it was. Could have been seeing some price manipulation for sure because it was spiking up to around $3,000. Copies for $879 at the vendors. Where's it played? In Vintage. Paradoxical is playing it in Vintage? Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Let's have a look here. Esper Paradoxical. With on the Discord. Okay. And like, if you're reading this, you would be like, it's Nathan Lippitz, but it's not. It's Nathan Lipetz. And I know that because I played with Nathan. He's a fantastic Magic the Gathering player, and he submitted this deck. So let's read Nathan's ninth place deck. Oh, you just about made top 8 with this. Nathan, November 13th. 6-1. Really awesome. Okay, so what do we got here? Sphinxy of the Steel Wind, Urza, and a Narset. I mean, that's enough just to win you the game right there. Any one of those. So he's running Sphinx, Urza, Narset, and then where does the candlestick go? And how many candlesticks do you run? We'll see it. Artifacts, Mox. All right, well, I got all excited for nothing. Candelabra. Nope, nope. Ah, they did me dirty like that, but that's okay. We get to give a shout out to Nathan and his awesome deck. So, like, here's see how the yeah, paradoxical outcome. See, bad data, but good data at the same time. So, yeah, I don't think it runs it in paradoxical, and it doesn't. Brody was spot on there. But let's see where else we got here. Feldon of the Third Path, a red deck. What are we untapping? Like, it untaps lands, so you got to have like something really good. I don't know. Maybe we should run this in Paradoxal. It seems really good with Mishra's Workshop. Like, I don't know. Let's take a look. What land are we untapping with this? Creatures, Commander, Wheel of Fate. Into your commander's identity, draw a card. Oh, so you're using the war room or untap? I don't. All right, downside here. No, that's not even playing it. Kark the Thumbless Commander. Nah, bad data. Bad data. Don't trust everything you read, folks. Don't trust Brody. Don't trust anything less of what you see. We got looking at 2 decks that don't include it, but the counter. We gotta find why. Where is 12 posts? Where's the 12 post deck? Okay, these guys are crazy. Memnarch. They say Memnarch runs it. Nope. No. We're calling you. We're gonna have to write them a letter. Write these folks. Tell them Tell them they're out to lunch. They're probably on coffee. Tropical Island. Let's move on down the list to the number 5 card on the slot. Donkeyville hier al Vlas. En in een vid later. Hey, Lion, ik heb je kaart net gekregen. Cannot hang, but I have to say hi. Oh, Savannah Lion's here. Jurgens, goedemiddag. Ah, yes, my friends from across the water, the long way away in the Netherlands, for joining us here. We are celebrating with the folks. What are we thankful for? Brody's thankful for the farmers that grow the food that I get to buy at the farmers market. Richie Dubs is thankful for Watsy crashing the prices of Magic cards so he can pick himself up and buy you a little cheaper. And we want to hear from you, folks. What are you thankful for? Thank you so much, Jurgen and Savannah Line, for checking out the stream this morning. We are checking out Tropical Island from Unlimited. It counts. Don't tell my boss, but I should be working. Blue Sun Zenith. Oh, all the Commander and Legacy and Vintage decks play this. Blue Sun Zenith, Oath of Druids. I really like the Oath of Druids deck. Let's take a look at it. It's using the Tropical Island. Niv Mizzet is the new target, right? So like just like we were looking at the Badlands earlier in the Reanimator deck, Oath of Druids is sort of like a similar. It's a similar. It's not a Reanimator deck, but it's a Nimator deck in a sense where we go and get something very very easily. This one went 5-1, sixth place, so top 8 in the vintage circuit on Mitgo. New target for the Oath of Druids, if you didn't know, for the folks here who aren't familiar with how this deck works, but it all runs around this card, Forbidden Orchard. Runs around this card, Forbidden Orchard, which is a land, so you want to get this in your opening hand. It says, pulled a foil Reg Gix. Woo! Hey DJ, it's Thanksgiving today. Yes, it is. I am thankful for my family. Yes. Yes, we're thankful for the family. Forbidden Orchard. So it's a land. You hope to have this in your opening hand. You put it on the battlefield, and it says whenever you tap Forbidden Orchard for mana, target opponent creates a 1/1 colorless spirit token creature. So you go, well, it's just a land that taps for any color mana, and like it's got a downside. My opponent gets a 1/1. Like, so what? Like, what's he gonna do with a 1/1? So you play this Forbidden Orchard, and then you want to put some other mana rock on the battlefield so you can cast this Oath of Druids that you have in your hand. The enchantment. So turn 1 play, you want a mana rock of some kind, a Mox, or that Forbidden Orchard and this card. The enchantment. You play this on, you put your land on the battlefield, you give them that nice 1/1 token, and then you cast this card. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses target player who controls more creatures than he or she does and is her opponent. The first player may reveal cards from the top of the library until they reveal a creature card. If he or she does, that player puts that card onto the battlefield and all other cards revealed this way into the graveyard. So you get to give your opponent a 1/1, put this onto the battlefield, say go, and then, of course, they have a creature and you don't, so they don't get to search. And if they spend, like, if they don't get rid of that creature, sacrifice it or do something with it, so on your next turn, you're going to get to flip over your cards off the top of your deck until you either hit this Niv Mizzet, which is a 5/5 and says whenever you draw a card, he deals damage. So then you're going to run all the card draw engine and pew, 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 ping your opponent to death. And whenever a player casts an instant sorcery, you're just going to draw all kinds of cards. So like and then Grizzlebrand, you can pay 7 life and draw 7, and then like Niv Mizzet deals 7, and then you cast cards, draw cards, and you wreck the opponent. So you can cast the you can cast the Oath of Druids off of the Tropical Island. because it makes blue mana and green mana, which is good. Great to see that. Which brings us to the next card on our list, six off the top this morning. Jurgen, I really like the channel over there and what you're doing. I congratulate on like the set collecting is real over there, like the binders and the sets. I gotta have a little sip of coffee. Props to Jurgen, the nerd, and proud of it. I am such a nerd and proud of it. I have to say this. Thank you, because Destiny has brought you to my channel this morning, Jurgen. I hope you don't mind. But this is morning magic stocks, and for all of you who want morning magic stocks and a little bit of morning magic talks, and you are in fact a nerd and proud of it, and Destiny has brought you to this channel here in the live stream. Make sure you check out DJ Longhair. Can you give us a comment in the comment section below? Is there a roundtable tonight? What's going on over at the channel, Mr. DJ? Hit us up in the chat. I believe there's MTG Roundtable at 5 p.m. East. Yeah, 5 p.m. It's a great venue. If you're new to YouTube, here's a. I know Benson, and there was a couple of guys asking about uh, making videos and how to participate and multi-streaming. I have no idea how to have guests on the show. Maybe one day that who would want to come on the show with Brody? Like, is got a chair and everything, right? I mean, you could come on the show and like do morning magic stocks. Somebody could, but we'd have to do it like over camera. So, but maybe the force of nature. Maybe we're gonna have this boy. This speaking of the thick boy giveaway, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. I would. Yeah, right? So, force of nature. Here's a card. Here's a thick boy. Big 8/8. Like this is a card that just oh man, brings me back to the days where like just having the biggest green monster was where it was at. You were playing 8/8 force of natures, you were running fungosaurs and wrapping them up to as big as you could get them. This guy, $68 from Unlimited. That doesn't seem too bad for like an iconic card. And when I was at Magic 30, I saw a fella who had his playset of Jazam Djinns alted to include a battle scene with the Force of Nature and the Sarah Angel and the Shivan Dragon and all the big beasts in Magic. It was really cool. But look at the fist. This guy's like got his fist up. He's got red eyes. He looks like a little bit of predatory in his facial expression. I always thought he looked kind of like the Predator, and then he's got like the big hulking out muscles at the back. The art here by Douglas Schuler, a fellow who's brought us so many amazing cards. You know, I'm thankful for Douglas Schuler's art that he's given us on so many amazing cards. This 8/8 trample for 6 mana. So like that was the downside is during your upkeep, its owner has to pay 4 green or take 8 damage. Now that's not a big deal. It even says on it, it says you may still attack with Force of Nature even though you fail to pay its upkeep cost. So you don't want to pay the 4 green, you can take 8. And keep crushing face if that's something you're gaining life with the Force of Nature. You don't not too worried about it. Crush your opponent first, or you could just pay the 4 mana. In green, it's not too hard. He's $68. Where are we playing him? No decks found. Strictly a collectible. Thick boy. Am I hanging later on the round table? I don't know. I have no plans as of such. I don't know if Mrs. Alfonso has any plans for us this evening. Maybe I can go. I hope so. Um, I'll check the if you shoot me a link over on the Discord. I'll try and hit it up and see if I can make it. I would love to join. You know how stuff gets sometimes. You get busy, and uh, I had to work late the last time the round table was on. I was working while the round table was going, and it was like I got to put it up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just like put on that round table, and I'm just pretend I'm there. Yeah, it's awesome. So hopefully I don't have to work late today. Uh, I will try at the very least to pop in and say hi. Yeah, I don't know yet. Family and whatnot on Discord. Yep, cool. Mr. DJ's heading into editing mode hard this morning. Dual brains in the house. Ed, my buddy Ed. I'm loving the Magic 30 videos that have been coming out. Really, 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 really good. I like the trickle out. I like the way you trickle that stuff out. We're checking out Force of Nature right now on Morning Magic Stocks on Thanksgiving. What are you folks thankful for? Question for the viewers. I'm thankful for put a comment in the comment section below. And we're gonna run down the last four cards and perfect timing. The brain, the most thinkingest man in the game of Magic the Gathering, the dual brain. Here's a card on the movers and the shakers list. Give me a little drop of that honey, honey. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy the creature with the least power. It can't be regenerated. If two or more creatures are tied for the least power, you choose one of them. When there are no creatures on the battlefield, sacrifice the drop of honey. So this card is an Arabian Nights rare. It's got a counterpart, Porphyry Nodes. Let's just put that up here. So anybody who's looking to get likes this play mechanic, here's a white card for 90 cents that does the exact same thing if you don't want to drop the $800 on the Arabian Nights version of the drop of honey. Alternate game effects include the Porphyry Nose. And if you're going to run Porphyry Nose, you might as well run Riftstone Portal. But I digress. Let's get back to the drop of honey. Look at the art on this card by Anson Maddox. And the flavor text. How does a bee comb his hair? With a honeycomb. No. He- That's not the flavor text. Played in lands and chroma. I like this card. So like lands plays it. It's really good. Like if you can yes, if you can drop this in the lands deck, if your opponent's playing creatures, it is right up there with Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale or with the Chromat, the 6/6 legend. It's also played because we don't care. I don't think we care about creatures going to the graveyard. We're gonna have bigger stuff. I think maybe they have recurring creatures here in this deck, the Chromat deck. How many copies we got on the vendor shops? 674 bucks. Thank you for this Magic community. Yes. Need to record today. Haha. Gotcha. Thanks. Hit the like button. And all the subscribers. Yes, thankful for all the people who check out the channel, who hit the like, and who hit the subscribe button. Absolutely. We got lots to be thankful for. And here's a fun fact, if you didn't know it, there's only one turkey in Magic, courtesy of DJ Long here. So if you want the turkey card, there is only one turkey. Yes. I think DJ brought that up yesterday. I thought there might be more, but nope, there is only one. There can be only it is like the Highlander of turkeys in Magic the Gathering. There can be only one. Strutting turkey. That's what it is. We're gonna have this is more of a fun episode of the show. Strutting turkey, right? Because if you want to strut, you've got to play this host creature bird card. The only turkey in the game. This is the Highlander of cards, right? I think there would be more than one, but there is a turkey. You eating some turkeys today? Lastly, seventh off the bottom. Okay, we got a couple of really cool cards that we haven't done yet on the show, and I'm really super stoked to bring you folks a little bit of coverage on this Chromium. So, like Chromium, Elder Dragon Legend, like these were the guys that sort of like I don't want to misspeak, but these were like the cards that people started playing in Commander, or was called EDH, Elder Dragon Highlander, because these Elder Dragons. So give a better rendition than me, but as I see it, and as I've been told, as legend would have it, when the Elder EDH format was getting pioneered, the idea was to take one of these Elder Dragon legends and make him your commander. So you would pick one of these, and that would be your color suit. So the Chromium has like a real niche history in the game, along with Nicol Bolas and any other Elder Dragons, because players gravitated around these iconic cards, these Elder Dragon effect type creatures, to make them a build around, even though shuffling them in the deck was not like their best use. Nobody knew the concept of a general until players brought that to life, not Wizards of the Coast, a group of Magic players. So that's why this card has got a special place in my heart and a home in a deck, in the Chromium deck in Commander. Let's take a look at that. And now I may have seen a reprint, but as far as nostalgia goes, if you want to pick up one, and now of course Commander includes any legendary creature, but back when it was being kind of, there was only so many cards in the pool to pick from. You had to pick an Elder Dragon legend as your general. So Chromium these days, so I'm sure the Chromium deck has evolved as the format goes on, because he would have been one of the OG commanders. He had to be. You've got Owl the Dawn Sky, Dragon Lord, Ojutai, Icefall Region, all these other amazing creature cards that have come into the game. Oh, Junji, the Midnight Sky, and all these amazing drag. It looks dragony tribally. I think it is. It really is. Chromium. Are we getting? Yeah, and then there's Chromium the Mutable, the newer Chromium. This also a 7/7 turns into an Uman, a 1/1 Uman with can be blocked. And I think he's got Hexy proof. Yeah. So a really cool deck, and this card, like, okay, it's $79. It's the original Legends version, and I know it was reprinted in Chronicles for $1. But like, as far as collectability, when you see this card in person, like, look at the art by Edward Beard and like how he was able to illustrate this awesome card. And like, there's a burning castle in the background. It could be Urborg. Like, it just, this card is awesome. Collectability, 2 thumbs up. Artwork, 3 thumbs up. Playability, 4 thumbs up. Just like, yeah, I think this card is amazing. Where can we get it? Where can we get it? Brody wants a copy. He really does. But we're still working on the reserve list, and this card's not on it, so I haven't given it that much attention. Maybe I've been ignoring it. What do you folks think? The best turkey in the game, and also the worst. Yeah, right? Totally, DJ. It is also, the strutting turkey is the best turkey and the worst turkey in the game, all at the same time. $56. You can get them for the vendors for a cheap version of the card. Really an awesome card, the Chromium. Like, you just for lore and everything else, it checks all my boxes. But then I'm really stoked. Why am I stoked to bring you this card? I don't know why, because I used to play it. I used to love this card. And when Brody was first getting started, we went down to the local. It was like, actually, I was so surprised because at Magic 30, they were playing Melee. There's like, people who want to join in the Grand Melee, make your way to the whatever booth. And I'm like, they're playing Melee. I haven't played Melee since I was like 13. And I thought it was dead. I thought every time I bring it up, nobody knows what I'm talking about. But Melee was a format where like everybody sits in a circle, right? And you got to like defend from your left and you attack to your right. And your area of effect, like, you couldn't bolt the person across the table. You could only hit 2 to your right and 2 people to your left. And every time you killed somebody on your right, you get a point. And the turns worked. You had like a counter. there was like 100 players in a circle, and they'd have like 20 turn counters, and as you did your turn, you'd pass it to the right, and then you'd wait until you got your turn counter, and the other turn counter had to be like 2 players away from you, then you'd take your turn, and it'd go around and around and around. But what does that have to do with Magical Hack? Well, the fellow who won the very first Grand Melee that I ever saw was running this card, along with Abby Gargoyle, Slate of Mine, and Angry Mob. So, Angry Mob. Angry Mob is a card that was from the dark. So he had the Angry Mob, and it was playing blue, white, and playing color matter. Like the Abbey Gargoyles is pro red 3/4, so it doesn't die from bolt. But so he could change the protection color that's written on the card. And with Angry Mob, it says during your turn, the stars below are equal to the number of swamps all opponents control. During any other player's turn, stars are equal to 0. So it's a 2/2 during your other player's turn, but the Angry Mob, it checks in melee. It checks 2 to the right and 2 to the left for swamps. You count them all up, and it's. I gotta take a sip of coffee. So it checks. Angry Mob looks 2 to the right, looks 2 to the left, and says, "How many swamps y'all got in play?" If black isn't like the most played land, then this magical hack is the answer, right? Maybe everybody around you's playing green, and the Angry Mob's just not that angry. So you could and it's got trample. It does. It's got trample. So so this is what Buddy was doing. He just sit back, and they play the Angry Mob, and everybody thought it was fine. There's not too many swamps, and then check the board. Okay, what's the most popular land type here? Oh, it looks like islands, and boom, here the Angry Mob is coming at you. So the magical hack has been that type of tech in blue since the beginning of Magic. It doesn't seem very good because there was another printing of like prismatic lace, and I thought we were going to get like a prismatic hack that does any land type. But either way, it's an original concept of hacking the flavor text or the box text box. This is the original way to hack the text box in Magic. Now there's other cards that come out, and I think they'll alter the number. There's a card out there that changes the number word to another number word. And but this card, I found it neat and inspirational in the game because it was the first card, one of the first cards to actually hack and change the text box, and it's called Magical Hack. So it's a pretty cool, iconic card. It's got the fella sitting down scribing here. It looks like he's rewriting something. Really like this card. And last up on our list on the Turkey Day for you folks, Blaze of Glory. Okay, this reserve list card of all the creatures. Holy smokes. This guy is going out in a blaze of glory. Today, Thursday, November 24th, Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving to all you folks, fans of Magic Gathering, who are nerds and proud of it, who love the game as much as we do, and whose destiny has brought you to our channel. Let's go out in a blaze of glory here today. How perfectly fitting. One white. Cast this spell only during combat before blockers are declared. So you're the defending player. And there was another card like Righteousness that also costs one white. That's an epic combat trick. But target creature defending player controls can block any number of creatures this turn. If blocks, it blocks each attacking creature this turn if able. So now you're the attacker. You're going to make that one creature that your opponent is basically putting a lure on that creature. And then your other creatures can get in and around it. So it basically puts this creature can and will block all of the attacking creatures this turn. It's likely going to die. Hopefully, it doesn't have Death Touch. But the idea of this card was if your opponent had a threat that he or she wouldn't block with, This card was to ensure that they would actually throw that creature under the bus, and then you could swing in for lethal or swing in with enough to kill their big creature. This card's seen a little bump up in price. I don't know why. Where's it playing? No decks found. There's only a couple of copies. Maybe people are buying this out, and a little bit of price speculation to make it go up. Well, speaking of turkeys, what do you call the ghost of a Thanksgiving turkey? A poultrygeist. Ha! That's right. The poultrygeist. I really appreciate you folks for joining me this morning for the live stream. I love it. It's been a great time. It's been the time of my life. I'm so thankful for all you folks for joining in today on another amazing live stream. Savannah Lion, Richie Dubs, DJ Longhair, Mr. Dual Brain, Michael Superbacker. That one's for you, my friend, for backing me all the way from the beginning of the live stream. There is nobody like you, my man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. I hope the day brings you all the peace, love, and happiness that is coming your way. Anybody else joining in? It's Thursday nights. Thursday night is the round table at Mr. DJ Longhair's. We're gonna see if we can make it over there. We'll see. Brody is working today because I am in Canada and it's not a holiday here, but I am celebrating it with you folks. I am. I get twice the Thanksgiving. I get to be thankful once again, vicariously through all you folks celebrating it today. Take care. Thanks, Dual Brain, for checking out the stream this morning. I really do appreciate you hitting it up. It's been a good one. We'll talk to you all again tomorrow. And we'll have a nice day, everybody. This is your host, Brody. Morning Magic Stocks. Come on now, bring them all in. All right, now let's go sit them on down. Can I get a $15? $5 on a $15? $5 on a $15? Give me 20. Give me 20. 20 with a 5. 20 with a 5. 20